When I think of my career in public health, I think of taking the time to change underrepresented communities for the better. I believe that health equity for all is possible, and I'd love to be a part of making that happen. The biggest factor that set me on this path to prevention based work would be the area in which I was raised. Growing up, I was fortunate enough to live in an environment with well maintained parks, nearby grocery stores, and accessible healthcare with clinics within walking distance. I never realized just how fortunate I was until I stepped outside of my bubble and took a drive not even 15 minutes from my house. I saw a completely different side of Gainesville, Florida, one that had streets lined full of fast food restaurants, crumbling sidewalks, and overgrown lots that painted a picture of neglect. I knew right then and there that there was a big environmental disparity in the place that I called home. What saddened me the most about all of this is that the people who lived in these neighborhoods were simply a product of their environment. No one's health should suffer because they feel unsafe going for a walk in their neighborhood or can't afford proper transportation to get them to a market with fresh food options. I want to be a part of the change and provide a voice for those who feel like they don't have one. Public health prides itself on prolonging life, and I, for one, intend to uphold that mission in every way that I can. As I rode down those pothole-filled roads, it became clear to me that I wanted to pursue a career in public health. Some of my academic interests are deeply rooted in the role that social determinants play in one's health. Issues like food deserts, housing instability, and limited access to quality health care create barriers that disproportionately affect marginalized communities. Too often, society assumes that poor health is just a reflection of individual choices, when in reality, external conditions play an overwhelming role. As I mentioned earlier, the discrepancies between neighborhoods where I grew up in only ignited my desire and reaffirmed my commitment to work toward creating better environments where people can thrive. More of my interests lie in addressing maternal mortality, particularly the disproportionate rates among Black women and other women of color, as I believe it is a pressing issue exacerbated by systemic inequalities. My focus includes studying hypertensive disorders in pregnancy, as well as the long-term health effects of gestational diabetes. This disparity persists across the board, as highly educated and financially stable women have shared stories of nearly fatal complications during childbirth. On a more personal level, this crisis feels close to home, as it could easily be my sister, my aunt, or even me one day. My interest in prevention-based work has informed both my lived experience and academic training. I've built a solid foundation of biostatistics, epidemiology, and research methods. My academic rigor has allowed me to become familiar with statistical tools like R and SAS, which have enhanced my ability to analyze and interpret complex health data effectively. In the long term, I hope to work as an epidemiologist at the CDC, focusing on data analysis and community outreach to tackle health disparities. By combining my passion with data science and community engagement, I aim to bridge the gap between research and actionable change, ensuring that underrepresented communities have a voice in shaping their own health outcomes. I hope that through getting an education, I can gain the tools needed to give back to communities like the one I grew up in, address health disparities, and ensure that everyone has the opportunity to live a healthier, more equitable